NFL is not the only organization that's dealing with domestic violence cases. It turns out that members of Congress are also dealing with it. Not necessarily members of Congress who have been accused of it, but members of Congress who want to get rid of a federal judge who has been accused of domestic violence. So let me give you the details on that. So Representative Terry Schul is going after a federal judge by the name of Mark Fuller. Mark Fuller was recently involved in a case of domestic violence with his wife. Apparently she was in a hotel room. They got into a physical altercation, and as a result, she dialed 911 looking for help. We actually have audio of the 911 call for you guys. Let's take a listen.
What's the 181 Peachtree.
He's beating on me. Please help me.
That's a Rick Thompson? Yes. And what did she say? She said that she's in a domestic fight, and I can hear him hitting her now.
Oh, she's on the phone with the police.
So they were in a hotel in Atlanta, and when authorities arrived, she had lacerations on her mouth and her forehead. Apparently, he had accused her of having relations with another man. Of course, that's not been confirmed, but authorities also said that when they showed up, there was a strong scent or odor of alcohol. So he took a plea deal. I'll give you the details to that. Fuller was arrested last month after his wife accused him of violently assaulting her at a hotel. He accepted the plea deal earlier this month, according to reports, that would get the charge dropped if he completes drug and alcohol treatment and completes a domestic violence program. Now, members of Congress, and specifically Representative Terry Schul from Alabama, are going after him, and they're basically telling him, you need to resign, step down. And he has refused to do so. And so if he refuses to do so, they said, well, we're going to go after you and we're going to impeach you.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
And so they're being really aggressive with it. So it does open up a really interesting conversation, though, right? Because a lot of our members and a lot of our fans have tweeted to me, emailed in, and they said, look, there needs to be a punitive element to this, right? To the assault that's taken place, if they are convicted of it, right? A full investigation should take place. But does it make sense to also fire them from their jobs, to completely destroy everything in their lives because of what they've done? It should be a mix of punitive and also rehabilitation.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's definitely something to that. And look, when we criticize the prison system and the justice system in America, we often say that they don't seem to care about rehabilitating people. They just want to lock them up for as long as possible, possibly execute them, and when they get out, they're more likely to commit another crime. And so I don't like that. But I mean, this guy is a judge. Like, he is determining the fate of so many people. And not only is he out of control emotionally and physically, as we can see from this case, but he apparently also has drug and alcohol problems. And do you really want a guy like that being responsible for the lives of so many other people? Like, I personally don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, so
it's a hard question.
At this very moment, he has not been assigned to any cases, and any cases that he was assigned to have been reassigned to a different judge, or different judges. So that's good news. And I think that you make a really great point. When someone has the ability to make rulings that will impact the lives of so many people, he's a federal judge.
Yeah.
If he has these types of issues, he probably is not the right person to make these types of judgments.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So it's unfortunate that this is the case. He did take that plea deal. What I'm always very curious about is how the public would respond and how our justice system would respond to similar cases if someone from a lower socioeconomic status or from a different background was dealing with the same case.
Yeah.
So let's say there's a case of a middle-aged Muslim man beating his wife, right? Would he get a similar plea deal where it's like, all right, no jail time, no probation, no worries, right? The only thing you really need to do is go to a class.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
I do, though, what I like about hearing about these, obviously it's bad news, it's tragedy, but what I like about hearing about this is right now we have the Adrian Peterson thing, and we have the debate over corporal punishment. And a lot of Americans, huge percentage of Americans, still think it's totally okay, you should be able to hit your kid and everything. There doesn't seem to be that much progress on that, a little bit of progress. But when it comes to like beating your spouse, like, it wasn't that long ago historically, it was fine, totally fine. A lot of parts of the world it still is, but back in the day, like, that was a private thing between a husband and his wife. Police aren't supposed to get involved, employer wasn't supposed to get involved, but now we take it very seriously, and that's one area where it still affects millions of women. We need to crack down on this, but at least people think when it happens, we should crack down on it, there should be punishment, and that's major social progress.
You know, there was one thing that we didn't really get a chance to report on. It was a story that Jenks sent me from last week, and I wish I had it in front of me right now so I could read you the statistics. But after the whole Ray Rice story broke, a lot of women who have been victims of domestic violence for a very long time started coming out and looking for help. Not even prosecuting or going after, you know, their spouses or whatever, just looking to get out of the relationship, looking for shelter. There was one particular organization that helps women who are battered, right? And apparently after the Ray Rice story, their call volume increased significantly. And so this type of debate and this type of conversation is important because what they noticed was these women didn't realize that they were victims of domestic violence. They didn't realize that what was happening to them was illegal until the Ray Rice story broke. And they're like, oh my God, I need to get help.
A little silver lining.
A little silver lining. Very small one, but still, you know, hopefully those women did get the help they needed.